Okay, so now we're going to have a look at some more questions from the 2023 HSC Standard 2 Maths paper. We're going to look at questions 11 through to 15. So question 11, we're told a bag containing 150 jelly beans, or a bag contains 150 jelly beans. Some of them are red and the rest are blue. The ratio of red to blue is 2 to 3. All right, red to blue is the same as 2 to 3. Sophie eats 10 of each colour. What is the new ratio of red to blue jelly beans? Okay, so initially there were 150. 2 plus 3 is 5. 150 divided by 5 is 30. So multiply 2 by 30, multiply 3 by 30. This tells us that initially 60 were red and 90 were blue. So our first step is to find how many there were of each. She eats 10 of each colour. So minus 10 from red, minus 10 from blue. This gives us the new ratio of red to blue is 50 to 80. So this is 5 to 8. So this is C. And C is the correct answer. So this is how we do question 11. Question 12. We are told a cylindrical pipe with radius 12.5 centimeters is filled with water to a depth D, as shown in the diagram. The surface of the water has a width of 20 centimeters. What is the depth of the water in the pipe? Okay, so for this question, we have this, we have the center here. Really all we need to do is we need to find this length here, this L, subtract it from the radius of the circle, and that will tell us the depth. So this we know is 12.5. We know this total length is 20. This means the base of this little triangle is going to be 10, because it is, you could cut it in half and it would have symmetry, so half of it would be 10. We're also told that they're the same length with the double lines. So we can just use Pythagoras theorem here on this right triangle. We know c squared is a squared plus b squared. This implies that a squared is c squared minus b squared. So this is c, this is b, a is L. This implies that L is the square root of 12.5 squared minus 10 squared. So we'll put this into our calculator. This will give us a value for L. So we have the square root of 12.5 squared minus 10 squared. My calculator tells me this is 7.5. So the L value in question is 7.5 centimeters. The depth we know is 12.5 minus L. This is equal to 12.5 minus 7.5. This is, depth is 5 centimeters. So of the possible answers, B is the one we want, and B is indeed the correct answer. So now let's move on to question 13. So we have an item is discounted by 30% and then a further discount of 20% is applied to the reduced price. What is the total percentage discount? So a very common mistake people make here, I worked in retail for many years when I was younger, is they'll say, oh, this is a 50% discount. No, you apply the 30% discount, then whatever value that is, you apply a 20% discount to that. So we will have whatever the price is, multiply by 1 minus 0.3. And then whatever that is, we'll be multiplying that by 1 minus 0.2. Right? So this is not the same as just adding 0.3 and 0.2. It's not the same as 50%. So when we reduce the price to 70% and then reduce the price to 80%, we can just calculate this as one equivalent expression. This is P times 0.7 times 0.8. 0.7 times 0.8 is 0.56. So this is P times 0.56. This means that a 30% discount and then a 20% discount is the same as a 44% discount. Right? Because the amount of the price remaining is 56%. That means the discount must be 44. So therefore B is the correct answer to question 13. And B is in fact the correct answer. You also know that it has to be 44. It can't be more than 50. right? Because adding the 2 would give you 50. So applying 1 and then applying the next one on a lower value will definitely give you less than 50. So the fact we've got a 56 here, this is the amount of the price remaining when you apply the discounts, not the discount itself. But we use this value to get the 44. So now let's have a look at question 14. So we are told a network with source A and sink B is shown. The capacities of 2 paths are labeled. The cut shown on the diagram has a capacity of 30. Which of the following statements is correct? So we have the maximum flow is 30, the maximum flow is 35, the maximum flow is 30 or less, the maximum flow is 30 or more. Okay. So the maximum flow is 30 or, well, the maximum flow is 30. We don't actually know that. We have a cut that has a value of 30, and that means the maximum cut in theory is the minimum cut is the maximum flow, right? So if 30 is the minimum cut, then that could be the maximum flow, but we don't know. There could be another cut that's less than this. So the maximum flow is 30. No, we don't know that. Maximum flow is 35. No, we don't know that. Maximum flow is 30 or less. That is definitely the main possibility here, right? Because we could have another cut which is less than 30, in which case the maximum flow would be less than 30. But if we had another cut that was greater than 30, the maximum flow would still be 30. So D makes no sense. Maximum flow is 30 or more. That doesn't make any sense. It's either 30 or it's less than 30. So this means C is going to be the correct answer here. And C is the correct answer. Now our last question in this set, question 15, we're told Ashan's mathematics class needs to complete 6 tests, each worth 100 marks. After completing the first 5 tests, Ashan calculated he would need a mark of 90 in the final test in order to have a mean mark of 80 for the 6 tests. Okay, so whatever his mean mark was for the first 5, multiplied by 5/6, added with 90, multiplied by 1/6, is going to be equal to 80, right? Because we're taking an average across these 5, multiplied by 5/6, which is the number of tests, and that average will end up giving us an 80. So this is the kind of expression that we're constructing here. And we just need to solve this for x bar. So we have x bar times 5 on 6 plus 90 on 6 is equal to 80. Well, we could start by multiplying everything by 6. So this will cancel this 6, cancel this 6. This will give us x bar, 5x bar plus 90 is equal to 80 times 6, which is going to be 480, minus 90 from both sides. This will give us 5 times x bar is equal to 390. Divide both sides by 5. This will give us x bar is equal to 390 divided by 5. That is 78. So his average across the first 5 tests was 78. In order to bump that average up enough to get to an average of 80, he needs a 90 in the final test. So of these 4 possible answers, 78A is the answer, and A is in fact correct. So this is the multiple choice selection of questions from the 2023 HSC Mathematics Standard 2 paper.